Hi. Okay, we're going to do the wax melting for our little snack bags. This is my 6x6 square that has been sewn halfway up the sides to make our little snack bag. Okay, so for 2 layers of thickness on a 6x6 square, it needs about a couple tablespoons of the beeswax shaving. This is up here. This is a chunk of beeswax I got at Hobby Lobby. It's 100% beeswax. Okay, so here's a couple tablespoons on there, and if we get too much, you can get rid of it. All right, this is parchment paper and another piece of parchment paper to keep the iron clean. All right, so come down here and focus here. So I'm going to set it on top of the wax, and here in a second, it's going to melt. Depending on how hot your iron is, it may melt right away. There it goes. Can you see that it's getting wet? It looks like water underneath. And then you use the weight of the iron to smooth it out. You can see the white pieces that haven't melted yet, and you can melt them more. And you can just leave all of your wax in the middle when it's dry. Can you actually see from there? You might need to come up
I can see.
Like that. Okay. Use the edge of the iron to roll it out into all the corners. Can you see how it runs like water?
Yeah.
Is it coming out on the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just use your iron to squish it out to make sure it's all covered. Like that. So that side's done. So back up a little, Ab. So now I'm going to turn it, and you can see where it's wet and where it's not. And if you come off for even a second, it starts to dry. So I'm going to heat the whole thing up again, and then sort of squeegee it into that corner, and I just watch to make sure that the beeswax soaks into all the cloth. And I didn't make it that far. That side stayed dry. So I'm going to heat the whole thing up and then take some of the wax from this side and spread it all the way over to make sure it all got waxed. This is much easier than the oven method. And you don't have to do a paintbrush and spread it around. I haven't tried that method, but looking at it and knowing about this, I think it would go up. It would end up really thick. And you actually want this to be coated, but as thin as possible. So this way, with the squeegee sort of in the edge of your iron, really makes it easy to get rid of the extra after you're done. Okay, so there are all my corners. Now go ahead and back up a little, Ab. So now that it's all covered, I want to get rid of as much extra as I can. You don't want any dry patches, but as long as everything's been covered once, you can't squeeze out too much. So now I'm just going to go out to the sides and out to the sides, out to the sides as much as I can. You can't make it too thin at this point once everything has wax on it. So now I'm just going to peel it open. It should look like a solidly wet cloth. It is hot, but it's not actually that hot. So I'm going to immediately open my bag while it's hot and wet, and then just give a nice blow. You can stick your hand in if you need to. It's cool enough to touch within seconds. So this is just barely warm, actually. Okay. And then it's dry enough to handle. It's cool enough to handle. I don't want to fold it and make wrinkles in it right now.
Mommy, do you want to hand it to Anya so I can show Anya?
Oh, okay. Here, Anya, do you want to hold your bag?
And this is for me.
Yep, that's Anya's color.
What's your name?
Anya. Okay. All done with that.
Anya Caitlin Kazi.
All right. Thank you, girls. Thank you, Abby, for doing my video. Thank you, Anya, for holding my bag. And have fun making snack bags.